Hello there, and welcome back to Szpakowo. So, it is May, and I wonder if our horses need some more hay. Let's go ride them and take a look. Come here, Brown Mischief. Is it Brown Mischief? I think so. So Brown Mischief is still showing 100% ridden and brushed, so I'm guessing they are actually taking themselves out for a walk. Why are you sleeping outside in the rain? I don't know. Our horse looks depressed. Maybe we need a new horse. I'm not sure. Anyways, they don't need to be ridden or brushed this month. Do they need any more hay? Let's take a look. I think they're just fine. Yeah, they're just fine for food for now. And our cows, they've got a little bit of food left. So I'm going to top up their TMR. Here's what I'm going to do for May. We're going to check our fields to make sure they're all doing okay. We'll flood our rice field. We'll top up the cows with TMR. Then we'll probably mow our grass, because if we look at our TMR production, just down here, we need some more inputs for the TMR. So we need some hay and we need some silage. So we'll do 2 chops of grass. We'll do one this month and then one in June, July, August, maybe September, and we'll turn that into silage, and that will top up our TMR production. We're also going to be getting a lot of straw off the wheat field, so we can add that to the TMR production as well and keep the straw topped up, even though we don't need it right now. So let's first start off by flooding our rice field. After that, I'm going to run over to our spinach field quickly and check that out just to see how it's doing. In fact, I could check that on the map, couldn't I? Let's go to growth here. Does it tell me the growth stage if I hover over it? If I hover over this, what does it say? No, it does not. It just tells me that it's growing. So let's go visit this field. I'll stand in the middle of it and see. No, not that one. Wrong field. This one. So growth 4 of 6. Now, something we need to bear in mind is how much is the vehicle to harvest this field going to cost, and is it worth keeping it in between the 2 chops, or should we return it and rent it again? Let's take a quick look at that. Spinach harvesters, so 635. That means it's going to cost how much? Oh, telling me I don't have enough money. Well, it's going to cost at least 30,000, probably 35 to 40,000 to rent, and then hopefully our trailer is suitable for it to tip into. I hope it doesn't need some kind of specialist trailer. I guess we'll find that out. Do we need to look at contracts for that? We might do. Let's take a look at our contracts here. What do we have that we might be able to take care of as a quick contract? There isn't really anything to get us a decent amount of quick money. It's just something we'll have to bear in mind. So let's grab our tractor. We'll take this tractor and the roller back over to our shed, and we'll get our trailer reconfigured to 14 meters cubed. We'll get our cows fed, and then we'll make a start on chopping the grass. I will see you in a little while. so that is our cows fed and our grass mowed and tedded. Grass is nice and dry now, even though it is raining. Because once you ted grass, it doesn't matter if it's raining, it stays dry. Of course, we all know that, right? So next job is to get the hay windrowed and baled up. I'm just wondering if there might be something else we can do to break up that task. I don't think there is. I know what we'll do. We'll empty the sugar just to give our day a bit of variety. I'm thinking about emptying the sugar. In the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, whenever it was, I think we were cultivating our field, or were we rolling it? I don't remember. Whenever we got reset to the store, our front loader disappeared. Because we got reset with the tool that we were using, the pallet fork for the front loader, but the front loader isn't over at the store. Huh. It's over here in the middle of this field. Now, we've never been to that field before, so I have no idea what happened when we got reset. But anyway, we'll go over to the store and collect it. And we will get the sugar unloaded from the sugar mill. I don't know where we're going to put it. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we can see when the best sell price is. And considering we have so much, we can consider offloading it. We will see. Okay, so we're over at the sugar mill. Let's go to our productions and let's put this on storing. Let's kick them out. Oh, it only kicks out one at a time. Wow, okay. Well, I guess we should get unloading then. I don't know where to put it. And when's the best sell price for sugar? It's in September. Okay, that's not so bad. I mean, it's only... No, that's our bakery. We can't take it there. And can't take it to the dairy. It's not that far off of its premium sell price now, but we'll keep it for September. So I'll get the sugar mill unloaded. And I think I'm probably just going to leave the sugar here, to be honest. Doesn't need to go anywhere else. So I'll get it done, and then I'll continue with taking care of the grass field, and I'll be back with you after. See you soon. Okay, so that is the windrowing and baling done. I'm not sure how many bales we got here. Let's take a count up. We have to do it manually because I didn't reset the bale counter. So 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hay bales. So that is 45,000 plus 22,500 plus 27,000, so 72,000 litres of hay we've got there. So the next task is to get it all scooped up and thrown into the TMR mixer. And then when that grass grows out again, we can chop it all into silage and throw that all in the TMR mixer. So let's grab our front loader and bale spike, and we'll get these all scooped up off the field and put into the TMR mixer. And then what I think I'll do is go over the field with a lime and fertilizer, because I really would like to match the level of hay with the level of silage, and I think you get more hay than silage off of a chopper field. So given that it wasn't fertilized before this chop, if I fertilize it before the next chop, maybe we'll get a similar amount. We'll see. Really looking forward to getting our pasta production started up when we harvest our wheat and spinach in a couple of months. We should really buy a greenhouse, shouldn't we, so that we can start growing tomatoes and possibly some of the other ingredients for pasta. Let's take a quick look at that again. So pasta production, we have carrot pasta. That's not going to be achievable without root crops. We have egg pasta. We could look at getting some chickens and starting that up with we could feed them the wheat that we have in the field. Spinach pasta, fresh spinach pasta, regular pasta, potato pasta, spinach pasta, and tomato and spinach pasta. So the only thing we could use really out of a greenhouse is tomatoes. Probably not worth buying a greenhouse just for that. We'll stick to regular pasta, spinach pasta while we have the spinach, and fresh pasta. We'll look at getting some chickens at some point in the next couple of years. Maybe we could make that horse pen a little smaller, because I'm only intending on having 2 to 3 horses at a time, and then we could have some kind of chicken pen next to that. That might be an idea. I'll take a look at that once we get some money in from the sale of our furniture this year. I'll continue on with collecting these hay bales off the field and then preparing the field for the next chop, and I will rejoin you in a bit. Okay, so it looks like I need a state of growth on the grass before I can fertilize it. So what I'm going to do is just unfold the sprayer and leave it at the edge of the field, and then next month, once it's grown back a little, hopefully it will be detected correctly, because I don't want to waste fertilizer. I could still go around with the fertilizer and spray too much, and then we wouldn't have to do it next time, but I'll wait till next month and we can continue with that then. So let's lower this down, and we'll just drop off the spreader there, or the sprayer there. The next thing to do, I think we should go over to the carpentry and start loading up our trailer with the furniture to be sold in June or July. I'd rather not have to do it in July. I'll take the big trailer over there because we don't need it before we sell the furniture. We'll go via the horse pasture, and we'll take a look at the area that we might turn into a chicken pen. So it'll be this kind of area here. We'll have to wait until we've harvested the crop out of that field for the year, because we probably need to lop a little bit of that field off for the entrance. Let's take a quick look at our chickens, our chicken options. So it looks like we don't have too much in the way of a chicken pasture that has a customizable fence. But what I was thinking was just lop this off down to here and have this as a horse pasture, because they don't need that much space to run around when you're going to take them outside of the pasture to exercise them, and then have this whole area here as a chicken pasture. I think that works really well. I'll put the entrance to it. I don't really want it there, so we'll put the entrance like here in line with the horse pasture, then we can get to the feeding area easily. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, onwards to the furniture store. This is going to be the first time we are using our new furniture store setup to load our goods, so let's see how it works. I do still need to finish this piece off. I need to create some kind of viable entrance down here for it. Maybe we'll chop down that tree in the middle there, and then we'll have a nice entrance up here. Yeah, we're going to need to do that because right now access isn't ideal. I'll just get this nice and level up to the edge of the carpentry. There we go. It's like a nice little posh driveway, doesn't it? Not sure what's going on with that sprouting tree right here. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out another time. Anyways, on to the loading. I'm really hoping that the work we did here makes the loading just a little bit easier. We will see, or maybe we'll need to do even a little more work on it. I'm not too sure for now. Obviously, if we had a forklift, this would be much easier, but for now we do not. It's on my list of things to buy. Alright, so I'm going to carry on with this loading, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so we're almost done loading the furniture. So how was our first experiment in loading using our new loading bay? Well, it was better than the old way, but it's still not perfect. There's a couple of things that I think I'm going to try and change quickly. Let's get this last box on here, like that. No pallets in the way now. I can level this out a little bit further, or smooth this out rather. And then a little bit of leveling. I think this leveling needs to come back a little bit. Let's take a quick look to see how it looks now. Yeah, this is a lot smoother now. That pallet isn't preventing us from leveling this out properly. I'm thinking ideally that all of this should be at the same level as the carpentry, so maybe if I move the tractor out of the way, maybe we can level it out quickly. No, you know what, we'll wait until another time to take care of leveling it out further, because we need the trailer to stay here to load up the rest of the furniture in July. Okay, so I think the next thing to do really is to skip through to June. There's nothing more I can think to do in our fields. Everything has been taken care of from what I can see. yeah, so I think we'll skip through to June, and I'll see you there. Why do I have a $550 wage payment? Who am I paying wages to at the end of the month? I didn't use the AI worker this month. You know what I've just realised? Somehow, the automatic helper has enabled itself on our horses. That's why they are fully ridden and taken care of every month. Of course. Okay, fair enough. I have disabled the horse helper. Unfortunately, you can't disable it in the game. It would be really nice if it had some kind of UI in the animal menu that allowed you to disable it, but it doesn't, so that's unfortunate. And there was me thinking that they were magically taking themselves out for a midnight trot. How silly of me. Anyways, let's get our rice field flooded, and then we're going to spray fertilizer on our grass field to get that taken care of. So there's our rice field being flooded. I'm interested to see if this tractor can actually use the sprayer for the rice field, because if it can, then I'm not really sure what the Asaria Pro sensor is for. Let's see. Yeah, see, look, this tractor doesn't have the sensors, and yet grass on loamy sand is automatically detected. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, if it's there, it's there. I'm not going to complain too much. Let's get this field sprayed, and I will come back to you after. Okay, so that is the field fertilized. Let's put the sprayer away, and let's take a look at our spinach field. What's happening over on the spinach field? Okay, so it looks like our spinach is ready to harvest. Now, we need a considerable amount of money to harvest this, to rent the spinach harvester. So let's take a look first. We've got a massive liming contract here. Maybe we can do that, and that will give us 18,000 euros. I think this is worth doing. So yeah, we'll take that. But also, what I want to check is the price of our furniture this month. Where are we at with the furniture? So 3759, the max price is 3861. If we look at the graph if we look at the sales chart for furniture, July is the maximum, so I think we will leave it until next month. Okay, so we have our lime here. I'm going to go to that field. I'm going to go over to the store, then we'll go over to the field and get the liming complete, and I will see you soon. Okay, so this is the liming on this field complete, and that really took a while. Took over 2 bags, almost 2.5 full bags. Well, not quite 2 full bags. The spreader wasn't full of lime when we arrived at the field, so roughly 2 bags of lime to complete this field. Let's collect the contract. For once, collecting it the same month as we complete it. How much do we have? 41,000. Let's see if we have enough to rent the spinach harvester. Wow, 32,000 to rent the spinach harvester. Now, when is the next chop of spinach? It's in 2 months, I expect, right? So, yeah, it doesn't make sense to... Maybe it does make sense to keep an extra month, because we're going to have to pay 12,700 twice if we don't, and then 6,350, whereas if we do keep it, then we probably have to pay 12,700 once, 6,350 twice. I'm not sure. So we'll rent it for this once. We'll have to see what makes sense. I don't know how long the spinach takes to regrow. If it takes 1 month, or it takes 2 months to regrow, then it's probably worth keeping it to save ourselves 6,350. If it's 3 months to regrow, it's probably not worth it. Alright, so this is our spinach harvester. Well, it's not ours, it's rented. But let's fire it up and let's go harvest some spinach. It's good that it is articulating. I think that's the word for it. Articulating front and back. Let's see what options we have for our spinach harvester. I'm going to drive it over this way so we're not on the road with it. It's a rather cumbersome machine. What do we have here? Honk, stop engine. Turn on map view, toggle cruise control. Okay, so there's not much in the way of drive modes or anything like that. It's just a one-stop machine. Let's jump inside and take a look around. Very shiny. Yeah, decent machine. I just see the AI helper just driving across our neighbour's field there to get to our field. Whichever way you want, Mr. Worker, I have no problem with it. Okay, so we are at our spinach field. Let's take a look at how this contraption works. So you unfold it like this. That's unfolded. Start it up. Lower the harvester down. And harvest the spinach. See if we can get our steering assist on. Can. Only 3.5 meter working width. That's not a lot. It means it's going to take a fair amount of time to get done. Oh, and looks like this crop gets destroyed if you drive over it. Didn't realise that. Thought it was the same as the root crops. My bad. You live and learn. So, quite sure what to make of this yield so far. 7.4 tons per hectare. So it's not super high yielding, but if you get 2 chops of it, or maybe even 3, I actually don't know how many chops you get. I'm pretty sure I remember reading on the info card that you get 2 chops with spinach. But it might be 3 if you plant it in the first month. I mean, if it is 3, then fantastic. So we need 31,000 over at Spactrans for our VIP order, so that's going to be our priority. And then the rest of it we're probably going to dump in our pasta production. And then when we get the wheat next month, we're going to be able to produce some spinach pasta. Anyways, I'm going to continue on with the harvesting, and I'll rejoin you once we've made some progress. Okay, so our harvester is full, 32,000 litres, so that is enough to complete the VIP order, which means that the rest of the chop is going in our pasta production, and then also the next chop, and if there is a third chop, that will also go in there. So let's get this all unloaded into here, and of course we're only going to be able to do 21,000, aren't we? Yeah, so we'll switch off the... in fact, no, what we'll do is we'll set the harvester back on its way with a worker. Hopefully it can take care of it. We'll see. And then we will drive over to Spactrans and then come back, and hopefully the AI will have managed to figure out what it's doing. So let's do that. Not enough money. Oh, of course. Okay, so I guess we're driving over there on our own then. Okay, the harvester's going to have to stop working for a while. We are headed over to Spactrans because we don't have enough money for AI workers. Okay, so we're approaching Spactrans with our trailer of spinach. It's not worth very much money, unfortunately. We only stand to gain about 7,000 from this, but at least it will put us back in a position where we can use an AI worker, although probably not for long, because I'm sure once the timer ticks over another hour on that Oxbow machine, we'll be down another 6,000 euros or so. 8,000 plus 88 plus, yeah, so about 8,900 for that load there. Definitely going to be in the red once we get another hour of usage. I have a feeling I'm going to have to probably take over at some point because they're going to get stuck by traffic, but let's continue with this for now. I will carry on and I will rejoin you in a little while. Okay, so this is the last row of this spinach chop, and how much do we have? We had 2 trailer fulls, so 21,000, that's 42,000, plus 25,000, let's call it 26,200 or so. So 68,200 roughly, 68,300. That is not bad. Now, what I'm a little confused about is why my bank balance is going down quite so much. So that's it, that's done. I'm going to switch off the engine. And let's just check the finances, because I was expecting it to go down by about 5,400 per use hour. But it seems to be going down much more than that. So I'm a little confused. Let's take a look here. Yeah, look, 59,000. I don't understand why it's costing me that much, because if we look at the spinach harvester, I can't see the prices because I don't have enough money. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the prices, with the rental prices. Anyways, let's get the rest of this spinach emptied into our pasta production. And how much can the pasta production take? Hopefully it can take a fair amount. It can only take 30,000 litres. Okay, well, that's not ideal. The question is whether to keep the harvester or not. I think I'm going to keep it until next month and just see how much it costs me. Let's jump in our other tractor, and I'm going to fill up the spinach input on the pasta production as much as I can. Then we'll take the rest over to Spactrans. We'll complete that part of the VIP order. Then we will probably call this episode there. Okay, so here we are over at Spactrans, offloading this load of spinach. It's not going to put us out of the red, but at least we'll be in a little bit of a better position, probably about 2,000 in the red. And we will have completed this level of VIP order. That's the main reason we're doing the spinach anyway. Definitely not worth renting equipment for to harvest the spinach. I mean, it really depends how much we're going to make from the spinach pasta. So spinach pasta sells for 2,750 per 1,000 litres. And let's say take a look at the ingredients. So it's 25, 75 and 25 equals 100. I think it's going to be pretty profitable because there's 30,000 litres in there, which is going to be an absolute ton of spinach pasta. And if we get some eggs in, we'll be able to do fresh spinach pasta, we'll be able to do tricolour pasta, fresh pasta and regular pasta. So I think overall it's probably going to be worth it. Anyways, I think this is a great place to leave this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed harvesting our spinach with me this episode. If you did, please do give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will be back next month for more Farming Simulator fun. But until then, bye for now.